Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pixel Junkies podcast. How's it going?
Hi.
Oh man, we got a clusterfuck episode this week.
Yeah. All right.
What's up, everybody?
The weather
We got
once
a lot of
again
people.
fucking us. Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of voices.
All right,
So
let's
with
go.
Newfoundland,
Let's go clockwise.
Oh my Jesus.
What's going on?
Clockwise, Rory? You mean like geographically?
So that means I'm first, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So
Starting
for
at 6.
viewers, for those of you who don't know who this is Dave. Dave is the Florida man, and if you don't know what the Florida man is, whenever you see a story that's like Florida man breaks into his cousin's house and beats her to death because she stole his Pop-Tarts to feed her kid that's also his, that's Dave.
He loves Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
No,
Dude just
I
likes
don't.
Pop-Tarts, man. Leave him alone.
I don't actually. I don't like Pop-Tarts.
But you don't like Pop-Tarts?
Well, he's doing
Have
it
you ever
because he
put
doesn't
butter
like
on a Pop-Tart?
Pop-Tarts. Buttered
It's
Pop-Tart.
so friggin' good.
So that's Dave. He gets the worst of it on here. I'm
Yeah.
Rory.
Hi guys, it was nice talking to you.
Oh, slow down now.
I'm Adam.
I'm me.
That's Aaron. That's
Oh,
our,
everybody. Fuck
that's our
off.
producer and editor and
He
everything.
ain't nobody. No, he
I
ain't
should
nobody.
explain very briefly before we begin that the reason my mic is potato quality and the reason that you can't see our lovely faces is because in Newfoundland, our weather sucks and it's currently really
Jesus
bad on the
Christ,
road, and I
dude.
didn't want to drive out to Aaron's house, which is about a 20-minute drive over a highway in very poor conditions. Man, you're flying awfully close to that
Yeah,
road.
because the friggin'
Um,
Sam site's gonna track me. Alright.
Okay.
Yeah, never mind.
Anyway,
my
so I just didn't want to be at it.
Yep.
or drive to you guys.
Fuck the road. Dave got great weather down there, but I can't come up because he's a lazy bitch.
I'm fucking like 20 hours away from you guys. Come on.
Yeah. There's always excuses.
Pay for my gas? You pay for my gas? I'll come up there.
Paying for your gas. You gotta commit.
To be fair, we're actually building a wall. Canada's building a wall so Americans can't get into Canada, and America's going to pay for it.
So what if you give me a pass to come into Canada? Would you pay for that?
No.
Say no. At least say can you at least say that you know me so that way I'm allowed in. Yes.
I've never seen you before.
Oh, fuck.
I don't know, Dave. You're coming across. You're looking like one of them
Yeah,
Mexican
no,
Muslims.
no,
You better step back.
No, I'm done with this. Goodbye. See you later. See you guys later.
We got a better wall up here.
All right, so believe it or not, this is a podcast, and
It is.
talk about some things. The first of which you're going to notice that Aaron is playing Ghost Recon Wildlands,
Yeah, not
and
beta.
he's going to give us his impressions.
Mm.
I might buy that. It might look good.
I have been playing this for a while. I kind of caved and decided to get it because I finished everything else I was playing. Horizon Zero Dawn and Shadow of Mordor and stuff, and wanted something else to play, so I was like, fuck it. I had fun with the beta, so I'm gonna buy it.
Even though the frame rate is
And,
feces for me right now.
Well, yeah, they're watching a screen share, and actually the screen share is making the frame rate a bit worse on mine as well. But for the most part, impressions going from the beta to this game, they've optimized it a lot. It is visually, I think, a bit downgraded to help the performance.
Question.
Yeah.
Did they improve the overall aesthetics of it from like the low res quality stuff from the beta, or is it still
What do you
pretty
mean?
shitty?
Well, no, I think and again, this isn't on like max settings or anything. This is
Oh, it's not.
more towards high. Yeah, it's optimized in the sense it's still a very demanding game.
Well, yeah.
You'll definitely need high specs to get a
So my
decent
card won't handle
performance out of it. Yeah, probably. You're not gonna get like a solid 60, but when I say optimized, it's like if you can only get 42 frames a second, you'll get a solid 42 frames a second.
That's fine.
Yeah, so it's not as jarring when the frame rate isn't hopping around up and down all over the place. So that's fine. And there's a lot of like different little performance tweaks, like in the graphics options, like even if you want grass to move out of the way when you like step on it, that kind of thing.
If I were to say, because I watched you play it in the beta, it's probably one of the games I would, if anybody knows me, I play more car games than anything else. It'd be one of the few games I actually bought that isn't a car game,
Well, it's got
just
cars
because
in
of the
it.
way it looks. Well, yeah, besides the car factor of it, it's a pretty damn good game.
Yeah, it's fun. So it's one of the characteristics about it that I like a lot is how big it is. If I'm sort of, I'm not sort of in the middle, but if
What are the few questions I ask you when you play a new game?
does it have multiplayer?
Well, besides that,
Is
How
it a
big
car
is it?
game? Oh, I just turbo booped it.
Dave says with an apple shoved down his mouth.
Don't worry about that.
So it's probably, I haven't like done a corner to corner or anything. Side to side, it's probably 20 kilometers. I think it's like maybe 20 by 20 kilometers.
That's a lot of space.
Yeah, so it's like akin to maybe the size of an Arma map or something.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and probably not the bigger one because I think that's like.
Well, it's bigger than GTA.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's like what? 2?
Aaron, what's going on with your helicopter?
I
Blowing
smacked
up.
it off the ground. So it's not having fun. There's a flower flying out of the engine there.
Stop drinking the beer. Pay attention. Come on now.
That is something that I like about it. A lot of the regions, if we just go into the map here, it's kind of divided into these regions, and the kind of the narrative is there's like it's kind of like maybe a narco state where it's kind of they're going against authority and they're trying to create kind of their own nation. And what, Dave?
One thing this map reminds me of is Fuel.
Yeah, not that big. It's like
not that
5
big,
hours to
but
drive
just-
across.
I'm pretty sure Fuel is bigger than the actual Earth.
Probably.
So anyway, a lot of these different regions have very different like looks and feels to them. Some are like you can see they're desert. Some of them are like tropical, boreal, very like desolate, wasteland like sulfur grounds and stuff. So they all have very different looks to them, and I like that very much. And it kind of makes it feel, if you do what I've been doing and go like region to region and there's like 5-6 story missions in each region.
Is there a co-op?
Yeah, there's 4-player co-op.
Okay.
And if you go through each region and just do like the missions there, it almost feels like its own like mini campaign. And in a sense, it feels a lot like the old like maybe Rainbow Six games where you have like they would have like levels and stuff, and you have objectives to do. I'm gonna get a new helicopter because this is hilarious. It's like you have your own mission objectives to do, and I guess it's really not that different than most games. But it's cool how you can
Still that van over there.
It's cool how you can go from one region to another, and it kind of like there's no like load screen. It doesn't skip a beat. You can move off and do
Besides
more story
watching
missions. Yeah, well, you don't need to interrupt me every 2 seconds here, Dave. I'm just telling you what I'm thinking.
Alright.
And so it's a cool. It's got a kind of a nostalgic vibe while also being relatively modern. And it's a very pretty game. It's not as pretty, I don't think, as Horizon Zero Dawn because I just finished that. But it's big and it feels big, and I like that. Gunplay is great.
I really like.
What?
It does play well.
I was gonna say I really like the idea of this place in Venezuela, is it?
It's Bolivia.
Or Colombia.
Burma.
Bolivia.
Or is it?
I like the idea of some Bolivian dude having spent he's like in his, let's say, 60s. He's 63. He spent his entire life building up, what meager money he can make because what meager jobs are available in this poverty-stricken region, and he finally has enough money to buy a car so he can drive his family, to and from the hospital if they need to, or to and from their job. That's been his life's dream since he was 6 years old, was to be the first person in his village to own a car. And then he gets his new car, and he's been driving it for an hour, and he loves it. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, in a smoking little bird, 4 Americans pop out of the little bird, shoot him, and steal his truck. I love that idea.
There's Dave.
So the gunplay is pretty good. It's very realistic. It's also got like a bullet drop as well.
Though?
Shut up, Dave. Jesus Christ. Let
No,
me talk. The controls great. I'm playing it with the controller, and you can say, "Oh, you're playing a shooter or the controller." It's like, well, it has driving in it, so controller automatically.
Yeah, true story.
So that's that. But it's also got like bullet drop and stuff as well. You can kind of see that the bullets.
This is the one where you watch the bullet fall down from a mile away.
Yeah, and it's also got something. I don't know if this is like super dynamic, but it seems like it. And it's maybe harder to illustrate here, but the acoustics of the gun. Like I've always said that DICE do a great job with their audio. Whoever the Ubisoft have working on their audio team for this game has done a fucking fantastic job, because the acoustics of your surrounding, like if you shoot a bullet over a valley or over like flat ground, it changes the sound of the bullet and like what the reverb is. So like if it's really far away and over a valley, you'll hear that like it'll come back in. It's yeah, fantastic audio. All the guns sound great. and that's really fun. They got a bit of weight to them. They sound very powerful, so that's fun. Story is interesting. It's not top of best writing or anything like that. And the main character voice
500
acting,
meters.
at least for well, yeah, it's better than Arma, but the voice acting for the female lead is not great.
Can you choose?
You can be male or female. Doesn't really matter. You can go in and customize your character as well. And the customization is not great. Mass Effect actually does a better job. It's pretty much, it just boils down to
Elite.
no, it's not as good as Elite. It's pretty much just pick a face and then put clothes on your person.
All right.
So you can, and it's kind of cool how they have that set up. They also have an option here, which is special outfits, so you can like pre-assign different outfits for different ops.
It's a bushwalkie.
Yeah, so I have like a ghillie suit set up, and different like night op suits if you want to go in and turbo silent. It's pretty cool, and you can paint your guns and modify your guns and all that kind of stuff. There are problems with the game, however, despite me having a lot of fun with this. There are some kind of maybe bad design choices or maybe like critical problems. There's like in some instances where like random audio will like happen, like just well, it's like there's a mission where you need to like defend a radio or an emitter or something. And it's like, defend the radio. The radio's taking a lot of hits. It's like, okay. And so you go and defend it, and you do that, whatever. And then like an hour later, if you like tell one of your squad mates to go to the helicopter or something like that, then he'll just be like, defend the emitter. It's like, what are you talking about? So there's random audio glitches like that. And for the most part, like your team commands here, you have these are your team commands. It's fire, hold, go to, and regroup. There's no real like.
You can't get him to go into special like formation.
Yeah, not really.
Get him
it's kind of just they all go here, And like I can. There's a function in the game which is cool. It's called sync shot, where I can see a guy here. I can target him, and one of my guys will start aiming at him. But the problem with that is, well, for two reasons. One, I can only do it like if I do it now. There's a 30-second cooldown before I can do it again, which is fucking stupid.
Why?
Well, that's the second reason, is because it basically ignores all cover and terrain. So like if there's a guy you can't find somewhere in the map, he might be like 10 stories under the ground in a bunker. It's like, target this guy, and then he'll just like your guy will just shoot through the ground and kill him. It's like, all right.
That seems like a terribly implemented system.
Yep, it's not great.
It does.
Because see, Aaron, just look up for a bit. Like, okay, see those like cliffs over in the distance there. It'd be cool if you could like send one of your dudes, well, not that far, but like down to the right, over there, just above the road. If you could send one of your dudes over there, with a sniper rifle, say post up on that hill,
and
like
while we take the bait, satellite, and he would have killed me, right?
Yeah. Post you on a satellite. Yeah, and I think that's where like it's more of a game design thing, because the implementation is that it's primarily a co-op game and that you're supposed to be playing with your friends, which doesn't really excuse it from terrible game design, because the solo mode is kind of weak, but it would definitely be more fun with friends, because you could actually talk to each other and issue.
In all fairness, most games nowadays seem more co-op oriented than solo play.
Yeah, but I don't know, I feel like if you're going to implement a solo play, then flesh it out and make it fun, and it is fun. It's very thin, so it's kind of lame. And the cooldowns on everything, it's not just like the sync shot thing. Like you have a drone.
Everything.
So if this drone gets destroyed, like it has an explosion ability, so I can blow it up and you can kill guys with it. But that also has a cooldown. There's also like cooldowns on pretty much everything, and you can, if you go in, like you have
grenades and stuff.
Not grenades, but like there's a vehicle drop off, and you can hire a fire team to come in and help you.
Oh, the Cadillac you still owe me?
Yeah. There's a Cadillac looking car in this, and I keep blowing it up, and Dave gets pissed off.
It's a cool looking car, man.
And there's another issue that's kind of a more, and it kind of blows me away a little bit, because they spent a lot of time, a lot of attention to detail. Like, I don't know if this has been in past Ghost Recon games. Adam, you've played one, but like the paint. One of them recently. I don't know what one it was. It was.
I played Gra, both Gras back in the day, and I played.
Wasn't there one recently?
I think I played this. My favorite was Future Soldier.
Yeah.
Ghost Recon Future Soldier.
I don't know if this was a thing they did in that as well, but what, Dave?
I played the first one, the first
The
Crawl.
very first one.
Mm-hmm.
This
Does not hold up, by the way.
Huh?
Does not hold
No.
up, or it's a very different style of game.
So
Yes,
this has a function where the paint wears off your gun, and you can see that mine's very worn down. I'll just renew the paint here now, and you can see what it looks like when the paint's not worn off of it.
Oh, that's cool.
So
big difference.
the paint will like come off your gun until like eventually
like,
there's no
my
paint
summer
left
car.
on your gun.
That wasn't in Future Soldier, but I
Okay.
think that's only something they can only do with like modern. Like I don't think you could do that with the 360.
Yeah.
what that
Also,
game came
maybe
out
it
for.
probably wouldn't really had much of an impact because it was more linear and wasn't open world, where you would keep the same weapon loadout from
It's kind of like Elite Dangerous in terms of your ship, like exploring. Your paint wears off.
Yeah, I like that
So
you're
it's-
using examples that only me and you are understanding.
Nothing to do with guns.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this thing that only I know what I'm talking about.
I don't play games like this very often.
So, like, that's a cool little attention to detail. There's also other things where, like, lights buzz or flies buzz around lights. So it's little things like that that other weird glitches and issues just don't make sense. Like, there's let me just see if I can find the gun. I think it's the Mark 17, the Scar. So, like, if you go into the loadout here, you can see that the gun, or the magazine is like a white color, and the gun is kind of like beige.
Yeah.
It's also an extended clip. If I go back into this screen here, the clip is shorter than it is in the edit screen. And then the same thing if I go in and modify, where the hell is this? If I change the magazine to the standard size, all of a sudden now it's the same color as the gun. And still the same thing. So it's like it's like weird little issues like that are just inconsistent. And I mean they are kind of hard to notice, but they are present in the loadout
I guess
screen.
they're more video game visuals. Than anything else.
Yeah, and there's also different issues with the AI as well. Like they have a little detection meter that shows up when you're in range of them, and it basically it tells you how much time you have before you're detected and you fuck your mission over. Except in some instances, it doesn't need to completely fill out for them to know where you are and alert everybody. So I don't even know why the thing is there to begin with. It's like, oh man, I'm being detected, better move out of the way. All of a sudden you're suspected, they call in reinforcements and your mission's fucked.
A default thing, maybe.
I don't know why they have a graphical thing if the AI are separate. It seems like they react different to the interface is what it feels like. So that's weird. The vehicle controls aren't that great. That's kind of like a minor thing, I suppose. And then the last thing that I don't like about the game is how many microtransactions there are. If I just go into like, I don't know, there's some of the locked weapons.
So like GTA.
Like the Vector up there?
There is a Vector in this game.
Oh, buy a
Just
shark
asked
card
it.
for $1.5 million for $100.
It's a submachine gun, yeah? Yeah, there you go.
It's a PDF weapon.
There it is there.
So you have to pay real money for shit like
Well,
this.
Sorry, PDW.
if I just went into like, if I wanted to go into paint, there's some of the paint jobs, it'll just say like gold, for example. It says
money.
access the store to unlock this item, where other ones it'll say like explore this region to unlock this item. And then if you go into the actual store, like you can pretty much buy everything in the game already.
Sweet.
And it doesn't really make any sense. Like, let me just see. Just pop into it. Let's have a look at the store here. Like 2100, whatever they are, ghost coins. I don't know what the hell it is. They'll have like
Ghost coins.
Coins.
Yeah.
You can
The fuck
spend
are
them on
those?
Space Ghost Coast to Coast. You can spend them
Coast to
on
Coast.
You buy a beer with that?
Ghostbusters. You can spend them on Pac-Man. It's awesome.
You buy a
They're
beer
the
with that?
number one currency. I know you can't actually. That's the one thing that you can't buy.
Oh,
So-
can you buy any type of alcohol with that at all?
No.
No.
So like
fuck
it's
off with that, man.
11,000 ghost coins is $67.
$11,000.
$67 is what that is. So let's see what you can get for that. So let's see what you get in this division pack here. You get a jacket. So you get three things. You get a jacket. You get a gun skin or something. Maybe it's a gun or maybe it's a gun skin.
Oh man, now your
gun.
guns in the game
And a
can look like
patch.
Nerf.
You get three things for 2,100 coins. That's it's $27
Dave's got
if you want to buy
Vika
that. $27
That's
for a
Aaron.
fucking
I gotta be
patch.
honest. That's ridiculous.
It's fucking retarded.
Does that include the actual game?
No, you get the patch, the gun, and
Aw.
a jacket for $27.
How much is the game?
Well, I don't know. It's probably $70 or $80, whatever it is.
Oh, fuck
Probably
that.
$60 for Americans. I don't know. So yeah, that's this game. It's fun, but it's got some kind of annoying problems. So if you're looking to pick it up, I don't know, go ahead. It is fun. It doesn't have too many game-breaking issues that I've encountered, but it does definitely have that Ubisoft sheen on it. So.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. This looks to be like, all right, so you've already killed all the immigrants that are in the division that have been infecting New York, but now we need to go to their homeland and kill them at the source. Get into Bolivia quick.
Division 2.
New York.
That's where the division took place, right? Wasn't it New York?
Yeah, it was, yeah. Anyway, we can move on here now. What else we got?
I don't know if I'll pick this up, if I'm honest, this game.
No, it
doesn't seem...
cheap, you know.
I'll wait for different price drop. I'm paying full dollar.
Which, because it's Ubisoft, will be in 40 years.
How much is that right now?
I don't know, probably $70, $60, $70. I don't know what that is in Trump dollars.
Trump dollars, fuck off.
So,
speaking of Trump, so have you heard about what's going on with the internet privacy? I don't know, deal that's going on in the States right now. I don't know, what would you call it, Rory? A controversy?
I'll go with controversy. Controversy's all right. Yeah.
Yeah. So have you heard about this, Dave?
I've heard about it, but what's the details? What you're talking about, at least?
Well, Rory, maybe you can correct me if I get any of this wrong. But from what I understand, the U.S. government or the Congress, I believe.
That's Congress. That's right.
Yeah, is thinking about selling, or is trying to pass a bill that would make it legal for internet service providers like AT&T or Time Warner. I don't know who does your cable down there. Rogers, American Rogers,
AT&T and all that.
Yeah, they would to be able to sell your private internet browsing history to advertisers, or really anybody who wants them, but they are used to advertisers, which is. I don't know. It seems to me to be a huge invasion of privacy. I don't know what you think about that, Dave. You live in the country.
It's a bunch of bull, really, in my opinion.
Oh, Aaron's getting blipped.
Now there's one guy in his Dakar truck for some reason.
All right. Yeah. Rory, just like what do you? I don't know. Like you.
No, that's right. That's all right.
Yeah.
So what's? Yeah, so this isn't really net neutrality. This is just exclusively browsing history.
No, this is a different story. This is well, yeah, it's whatever information basically ISPs record, right?
Yeah,
like
okay.
whatever.
So that's also separate from your end. Like they're not pulling your history; they're like recording your internet search independently.
Pretty much any history you have at all. Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
is ISPs do that anyways, is the thing.
Yeah, but my point is, like, if you use an incognito window, are they still tracking your history?
It makes no difference. Incognito makes no difference to an ISP.
It makes it incognito in terms of that. It means if someone would go on your computer, as in like, I don't know, like your mother comes by and looks at your computer, they would not be able to tell what you looked at.
Yeah, incognito is a local thing. It doesn't affect your ISP at all.
The internet providers can still look at what you looked at.
Yeah, you can still get screwed.
Yep.
So technically, in order for internet,
shit.
Correct me if I'm wrong, and I might be wrong about this. I'm not an expert in this topic, but it was my understanding that the internet, your internet provider is not allowed to give away your internet, what you've been doing on the internet, unless they're subpoenaed by a federal judge or by a judge, because they think that your internet history is linked to some sort of crime.
That is true. Yes, it is true.
So there's a big difference between asking for one individual's internet history because they want to catch, pedophiles, and selling everybody's internet history to, I don't know, was it IPS? Is that the name of the company, Rory?
The name of the company that does what?
Or the name of the company who's been paying off a lot of the politicians? ISP, IPS? I can't remember the acronym.
ISP, an internet service provider. There's a lobby, I forget, and the lobby is made up of different internet service providers, and they're the ones who are trying to push this bill forward.
And it's worth noting that one of the issues with
be right back.
Oh yeah.
It's worth noting that one of the issues with this kind of thing in general, if you're wondering, it's like, and Adam's right, there are traditionally, certain safeguards that prevent more obvious violations of privacy. But the issue is those are all to do with the law, and the law is, moldable and changeable, as I understand it. I don't know much about the law, but I do know a bit about computers. And
No, yeah, like the reason. I mean, and that's a good thing. The law shouldn't be human laws shouldn't be set in stone because what is just 100 years ago is no longer just. Like even
the real obstacle here is that the ISPs are recording the information in the first place, which means if they change the laws, that they can then get access to your information, which is a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah.
Oh, I should say they're not thinking about passing it. It did pass narrowly.
Yeah, it passed 215 to 205.
Yeah,
I believe. No, I don't know if that but that also I don't know. Like I said, I know literally nothing about politics, and I don't know if Congress passes something. Did the United States don't they have a checks and balances system for actually passing legislation?
Not in this case.
Well, that's good.
In this, it just needs to pass by simple. Most bills just need to pass with a simple majority. I believe budget needs to pass with 2/3 majority. I think, and same
Budget's
with
privacy isn't. Welcome to America.
Yeah. Well.
So what's preventing somebody from proposing another bill that counters the thing that was put in place?
No one's gonna vote for it because all the jackasses voted for this one.
Yeah, but it was
yeah.
Still pretty
The reason that nobody's gonna they wouldn't vote for another bill. They would just overturn this one, and that's not gonna happen until in 2 years' time when the Democrats take both houses, or at least that's what I think is gonna happen. Both houses being the Senate and Congress. Once they do that, they'll be able to overturn that bill pretty quickly.
All right.
So
good thing Dave's on this podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I am.
The last one again.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously I mean, I don't know. I absolutely detest violation of privacy.
Privacy, what's that?
The thing where I come into your house and there's nothing you can say about it. It's the opposite of that.
You come to my house. What's that?
So if you're in America.
Just hang on. I know this is an important topic, but Aaron, I have this vision of you going to Florida to visit Dave, and you knock on his door, and you just see the blinds to the side of the door, you see Dave peek out and then shut them again, and then he just doesn't answer the door.
Fuck off!
And then the door explodes off the hinges, and I come in anyway.
So Aaron mentioned about incognito mode, and
shut up, Dave! Jesus Christ!
And can that prevent an ISP from looking at your stuff? No, but what can is a VPN.
Yes.
So if you live in the U.S., I recommend you get one of those.
Yeah, and make sure it's not a botnet that's also watching your history.
Do not get one. Do not, and I repeat, do not.
The VPN I have is controlled by a fucking Aaron over there, fucking reaming me apart.
The VPN, you just make sure you don't choose a VPN provider that's located in the U.S. Ideally, actually, don't choose a VPN provider that's located in the U.S. or Canada or Australia or New Zealand or the United Kingdom.
Is ideal here, is what we're saying.
Actually, the Seychelles are ideal. And if you were wondering what VPN to go with, there is a VPN that's called Trust Zone that's actually run from the Seychelles. And they run according to the laws there, which means that if the U.S. wants to look at your information, they get told to go to hell.
Rory, I have a vision of the future where I'm gonna get contacted by the Canadian Intelligence Service. They're gonna be like, your friend Rory has been looking up a lot of information about how to hack government sites and that sort of thing. We're putting him on the watch list. Like, no, he's not actually doing anything. He's just curious. Yeah. That's the only. He goes on Wikipedia a lot and he likes to learn, and that's all it is. Like, you won't actually commit those things. You'll just look the stuff up. Man, it's the frame rates. Oh man.
Look into Trust Zone if you live in the U.S., man.
Also, I read that Pornhub and YouPorn, which I think are owned by the same parent company. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Dave knows all about it.
They're planning. They're planning on changing their website so that when you browse their website in incognito mode, it won't record your search history there.
Right.
It won't record. It'll record that you were on Pornhub, but it won't record while you watch. I believe.
In all fairness, my whole VPN thing is not U.S. based.
Good.
Yeah.
Smart man.
So why? What's the? Obviously invasion of privacy and everything, but what's the end game here for the government? Catch terrorists or something?
Nothing. No, nothing. They're literally doing this because as far as I can tell, they were just, the internet service providers like, hey, if you allow this bill to pass, we can make a lot of money, and some of that money can be put in your coffers. And they were like, sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'd love to read a statement from a congressman who is in support of this bill. Does anyone have one? Like,
I'll look one up.
Oh,
Yeah.
Do you really want to read that?
No, yeah, no, I
pointless, really.
Rory's educated, Dave.
Oh.
You're not familiar with those types.
No.
Apparently after the vote, the Internet and Television Association issued a statement applauding the congressional action to repeal the FCC's misguided rules. With a proven record of safeguarding consumer privacy, Internet providers will continue to work on innovative new products that follow privacy by design principles and honor the FTC's successful consumer protection framework, the group said in the statement.
proven record my ass.
Yeah, right.
We look forward to working with policymakers to restore consistency and balance to online private protection. Not to get into, not to make this the political hour.
What does that mean?
What?
Online protection.
Yeah, you're protected online.
Yeah,
so
right.
All you got to do, Dave, if a bear breaks into your house, just go online. You'll be protected.
No, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
It's pretty much just like, oh, protect the bear. Forget about the person
That's how it works up here.
who the bear's attacking.
It seems that in American politics recently, there's been so much deregulation of like the FCC and the EPA and all that kind of stuff.
I don't know what any of that stuff is, but I know about computers and they're messing it up.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, let's move on before this becomes the political hour with Adam Facey and friends.
Recon. I'm getting Ghost Recon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting that.
So it'll be installed by Tuesday next week.
The co-founder of Oculus, Palmer Luckey. Yes, I looked it up. That's his real name.
Rory, I should say, sorry, just before we get off that topic, very quickly, apparently there's a petition on the go right now that it's on GoFundMe right now, and they're trying to raise money so that when this bill gets it's already passed, but when it gets enacted into law, they're going to start buying the internet browser history of all the congressmen who voted for the bill, and they've raised like $200,000 or something for it right now.
That's fucking hilarious.
To actually include the congressman, that makes.
I would make it my.
Anyway,
I would make it my life goal to make my browsing history like 9 million petabytes of information.
Petabytes.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, go ahead.
Rory, what were you saying? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Oh yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, so Palmer Luckey,
yes.
is retiring from Oculus.
Is he retiring or is he going to a different company or something?
Or well, I know he's leaving. Is it? Oh yeah, I guess he's probably not retiring at the age of 24.
Oh, he probably can.
24.
Probably can. Yeah.
Jesus.
He's already rich as balls, so it doesn't matter.
He's already done. Just like the same guy with Facebook. He's done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what.
Oh, talk about your data collection too.
I don't know what brought that about. If it was, I looked at it briefly, but I wasn't sure if it was like, because there's been there was some stuff going on with him recently, or some I don't know if it was political views or something. Something came out semi-scandalous about the dude. I don't know if this was kind of waiting for that to blow over and then respectfully asked to leave, or if he left under his own accord.
Money. Here's money. Install it. We're done with it.
Install money.exe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's I'm getting in the bag, I guess. Yeah, so that's weird. Also, were you done with that, Rory?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that he's gone now, and
All right,
it seems like a lot of the people. Oh, fuck you, dude.
He's gone now.
It seems like a lot of the people that were involved with the original Oculus project are not involved with Oculus anymore.
So who's in charge of Oculus now?
I don't know if that's been decided yet.
Is it still Steam?
No, that's Vive. That's HTC. You're talking about an entirely different thing, but it is a subject we can move into once we're done with this.
Oh. All right, fair enough.
I don't know who's in charge over there now. Who was the Doom guy that left? Was that the same guy? Rory, you got to back me up on this.
Oh, sorry, Palmer Luckey is not a Doom guy.
No, the other guy who was working on Oculus with him.
Or is currently in the middle of investing in VPNs.
Oh, you you mean like the guy who co-founded it with him?
Yeah. I think it was him anyway. He was asked to like work on it with him or something. He was working for a different company and then he left, and there was like a.
This guy worked on Doom.
Yeah, it was like Carmack. Was it Carmack who worked on it with him?
Oh, John
Yeah.
Carmack. Yeah.
Sure
Sorry, yeah, that is right. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, not a dumbass
Speaking
after
of,
all.
hey, Rory. Speaking of which, I know you made an article about the 100.
Fucking like 2
Oh,
years
yeah,
ago.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I've actually watched that. What do you think?
Wait,
What do I think about the show? Well, I haven't seen the most recent 3 episodes.
I haven't either. I've watched it where they reached
Oh, yeah,
the
spoilers. Yeah, it's just spout them
yeah.
out.
Shut the hell
Spout them
up.
out.
Yeah, spoilers. Go ahead, Dave. Go ahead.
No, I have no spoilers. I'm just asking, what's your opinion of the show, of what you've seen so far?
Okay, so
Okay,
I've seen the entire first 3 seasons in full. I really like the first 2. I found the third one to be incredibly like hit and miss from episode to episode. Very frustrating, rapid change of characters for no apparent reason. But overall, like I like it, and a lot of those young actors have turned out to be pretty good, and I think they've gotten better as the series has gone on.
I agree. What's that one character's name? The Mrs. who brought Clark to her tower. What do we want to say?
Alexa?
Yeah, Alexa.
Yeah.
I've watched to where she. What do you call it? I guess where she died. I guess you want to say it.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's pretty much where I stopped.
Yeah, that was bananas. That came out of literally friggin' nowhere.
Was that the thing you were complaining about on the podcast once, Roy?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's right.
I just haven't found anybody to talk about the show about, because I know you followed that show because of the one podcast you put out a while ago. I was like, oh, I meant to talk to him about this, and now that we actually are talking about it, I'm just like, oh, right, remember, 100. I want to ask you about that. Yeah, I do like how they found the one drone that led him to the city of light.
Yes. Oh my god. Yeah.
Cool. Yep.
No, that's such a cool plot line. Like, have you ever seen Battlestar Galactica?
Yes, I have.
That's what it reminded me of.
Yes, it does.
And I really want them to continue like going in that sci-fi direction. I think that's super promising.
Have they released any episodes since then? Because I haven't been following.
Epinodes.
Yeah, they've done. They're doing season 4 now. So every week when it airs Wednesday night on the CW, it comes out Thursday morning on Netflix. So you can sort of keep up with it in real time. I happen to have missed the last 3 episodes because I had like AI assignments and stuff.
I could find it, but no, yeah, I haven't followed it. I can't remember the last episode I watched. I'm pretty sure it's on American Netflix. The last episode I've watched.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I have to go back and find where I left off at.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a pretty good show. So I need to catch up with that.
Anyway, speaking of relevant things, moving off the subject
comes
of
the bit.
Oculus, HTC has announced an ad service program.
HTC?
You know, you're pushing it here, Dave. I'm serious. I will come to your house and burn it down.
And eat all your Pop
Bring it on.
Tarts.
Bring it on.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
And
Come here.
unlike
All my
America,
Pop-Tarts.
nobody
Give
will
up.
know what I searched for, how to make things to burn stuff down.
Pop-Tarts, what are those? Eat them.
Anyway, they've announced or pitched rather a ad service program to developers to integrate ads for VR, and I'm not.
Is that the same?
What?
Is that the same as like YouTube ads?
Well, no, it's not
Or
like a video that's going to pop up in front of you and prevent you from playing your game. But I think the way they're talking about it is like they'll be able to tell when you're looking at ads. So rather than just having an ad be present in say like a YouTube video or on a web page, their pitch is that they can tell like real engagement because you're looking at it.
So, sorry to interrupt, but like when I play games on my phone, so to speak, they have like random ads that come up in terms of games that tell you to like place objects and like as if you were playing the game. Like they give you a select amount of objects and you place the game in certain spots and stuff like that. Like you're interactive with the ad versus just a video. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, I mean, you can just picture playing a video game. Say like now, there's an ad on this wall. They can tell when I'm looking at that ad or if I walked away from it. That's their pitch.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, this guy got a ghillie suit and he's on top of a red brick building. That's good blending in.
Sweet.
So I don't know. I mean, I think the way they have that set up now is it's not across all Vive products or programs or whatever applications. I think it's just the Viveport ones, which is essentially HTC's storefront for Vive things, completely separate from Steam if you use Steam for it, which I do. So I don't know. I think it's probably more designed towards like apps and things. I think a lot of people are freaking out online. They're like, oh, well, this is the death of VR because it's all going to be ads and stuff now, and fuck this.
Everything's fucking ads.
Yeah, and I don't think it'll be any different. Like there was a kind of a surge in-game advertising in like the early mid-2000s where there was a lot of product placement and stuff.
Even now.
And yeah, even now I think it's a bit more subtle or blended in a bit better. And I think it's probably going to be some teething problems like that with VR. And it's probably, again, just for... Oh, there's your Cadillac. Yeah, let me just shoot at it for you.
Sweet. No, don't shoot at it.
Broken, sorry.
No!
Anyway,
Alright.
Again, probably just for...
Dave genuinely disappointed.
Yeah, disappointed. He owed me a Cadillac, so he shoots it and fucking hauls ass away from it.
Oh, I think that board hit that woman and knocked her out. Yes.
Oh, you got a Cadillac until you download this game. You need a Cadillac.
So it's probably, like there's a program that I use quite frequently for like watching videos or even just using desktops called, I think it's called Virtual Desktop. Probably, programs like that, they'll have ads in if you get like a free version or something like that. I don't know. And it is entirely up to the developers to integrate this stuff. I don't think it's like an across-the-board monetization program or whatever.
Yeah, if you want to screw up your product, you just...
Yeah, so it's very much like want advertising money and also tank your product. This is how you do it.
This is how you do it.
This is how you commit product suicide.
40 gigs.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Not them textures.
Mass Effect. I want to point out that Mass Effect Andromeda was 43 gigs, which was
that's a lot of not facial animation right there.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm wondering where it went.
Nowhere.
Probably dialogue, and actually, probably all just dialogue.
Crap tons of uncompressed sounds, probably.
Yep.
Fucking Tom Clancy looks a lot better than Mass Effect.
Not anymore. He doesn't.
What?
I'm saying just making a Tom Clancy joke.
Aaron making a very
very tasteful, very tasteful humor. Here on this worst ever podcast episode. What else we got to wrap up here? We got a few other things. Anything you guys want to touch on from this list?
Let's see. So let's talk a little bit about I don't know. Oh, Wonder released a new track. Like, it's all right.
Oh,
that was pretty good.
Yeah, I listened to it a couple times actually. I was. Oh, Wonder here is like I think we mentioned them on Pixel Junkies on the podcast before. They're like a.
What's the name of it?
It's called Ultralife. Definitely listen to it super loud so you can hear it through the audio and we get content ID.
All right, so if you hear playing through with the headset of mine, that's what it is.
They're a pretty rockin' alt pop band that released a pretty cool album.
They had a cool kind of release structure that I haven't really seen anywhere before, where they did one song a month until the album was finished. It's only, I think it's on Apple Music and Spotify at the moment. I think that's it.
It's on YouTube.
Is it on YouTube now? Okay.
Yeah.
It is on YouTube.
Because the email link that they sent me earlier today was just those things.
And, no, it's on their official channel on YouTube.
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
I think it's just a lyric video, if I remember correctly, Rory.
Yeah, so hopefully they kind of do the same release structure with this, where it's like one a month, because it's kind of like something to look forward to. Little monthly treat.
Let's see what else we got.
I got a couple of announcements.
All right, what are your announcements?
Apparently, the new Call of Duty game is going to take place from World War II. Nobody cares. Moving on.
There we go.
Total War Warhammer 2 got announced.
There's got a trailer.
I didn't know the first one came out, if I'm honest.
Came out in 2015, I believe.
Yeah, I remember them announcing it at E3, and I was like, oh, all right, cool.
It didn't come out long enough ago that I would think like a sequel will come out this quick.
Especially for an RTS like that, it's not.
Yeah,
3 years ago.
Well, it's not even an RTS. It's like a 4X game. But anyway, it's it's taking place, I believe, in Lustria or the New World.
Lustria, what's that?
Okay, well, to
Rings.
put it in perspective, to very simply explain it, the Warhammer world is very loosely based off our Earth. So there's like a Europe, an Asia, an Africa, a North and South America. The first game took place in Europe. The second game looks to be taking place in the Americas, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's going to be... It looks like the main factions of this game are going to be... Where the first game was the humans, the dwarfs, the greenskins, and...
Vampire counts.
And the vampire counts, thank you, Rory. This one looks to be the high elves, the dark elves, the lizardmen, and the Skaven.
So more fantasy-based.
Well, it is a fantasy thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, Warhammer is about... I keep saying Warcraft. It's Warhammer.
Warhammer, yeah.
Yeah. It's Warhammer.
The hammer makes the craft.
Total War Warhammer.
Hammer makes
Anyway,
it's cool. It's got like turn-based stuff, and it's got real-time stuff, and it's cool as hell.
Yeah. It's
all right.
yeah. It's I will say like Warhammer is one of the definitive fantasy settings, but
It does sound good.
Destiny 2 also got a theatrical trailer.
Ooh. Yes, I saw that.
And
trailer?
everybody's gonna shit on it, so I'm just gonna say I will, I'm gonna wait to reserve judgment until I, see more of the gameplay. But I mean, the trailer itself was fine, but it only tells us some story things about what the game's gonna be. It doesn't really it doesn't show any gameplay. It just shows. I mean, it's a funny trailer, but at the same time, it's like,
I did.
yeah.
Is that you taking like the Marvel approach or something?
Yeah, actually, kind of is.
I have to ask. The trailer is they did reveal that it is on PC. Destiny 2 is on PC. So my question is, are you getting on a PC?
I'm not getting it. So
no.
I'm trying to answer your question.
Really? Why not?
Because Destiny sucks. At least until it's proven that it's an actual RPG and it's not just like two environments that you.
If the game comes out and it's good, I'll get it on PC.
Okay, because as the bit knows, I don't have any consoles anymore. I only have PC, so all my games are on PC now. So if any game comes out,
spend money on your phone games.
Fuck the phone. I don't buy no games on my phone. Fuck that. I'm playing phone games. What's the point of that?
You can't have a sarcastic argument with you. Too many bevs over there, Dave. Too many bevs.
Too many bevs coming from the bed. All right.
What I wanted from you're talking about Ghost Recon or not Ghost Recon? That's what we're playing. Talking about Destiny. Destiny. I wanted like a high fantasy futuristic RPG with like planets and a lot of exploration, all that stuff.
And Aaron, you got that.
It's not
on
that
the wiki.
No,
you got it on the wiki.
Yeah.
So, I guarantee you, if you were to read the wiki, that's what you would have gotten. But the problem, man, you almost got run over by your own car there.
Okay.
But the problem is that should have been presented in the game via, gameplay narrative and.
I'm not talking about Destiny, Dave. Jesus Christ.
Pay the fuck attention.
No.
Speaking about Destiny, it's like this futuristic space. I wanted futuristic fantasy, and Dave's like Ghost Recon.
All right, so
all right.
Destiny probably wasn't what Aaron wanted.
Yeah, so I don't trust the sequel. I don't trust the sequel.
Adam liked it.
Yeah,
I liked it, but if you don't like it, I understand why.
Yeah, you can like it if you want. It's not what I thought it was at all, at least from the marketing. And I'll wait to hear some feedback on the second one, and if it's at all evolved, like again, and it's the idea of a sequel also kind of goes against what I thought it originally was, because when they originally said it was a 10-year plan, like Destiny was a 10-year idea or concept, or franchise, I guess was the word they used. I assumed they were going to support the one game for 10 years, kind of like Elite is doing.
Elite, yeah.
I was like, oh, that's a cool idea. This game's going to keep expanding and expanding, and then
they're going to support the Destiny franchise for 10 years.
Yeah.
I think they said they're 15 or whatever it is, but it's but not the first game.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Which, to be fair, I kind of like, because I feel there's enough good things going for Destiny 1 that makes me want to play more, but there's enough bad things that I say if they do a sequel and do it correct, this could actually be a good game. And whether or not they do that, I don't know. It's Activision. They got their grubby mitts all over the fucking thing, so it could be shit.
Yeah.
It probably is going to be shit.
I want to mention about Power Rangers. I want to mention about Power
Jesus.
Rangers.
Did you see that? Did you guys see that after?
I haven't. I'm gonna go see it, but I haven't gotten a chance to get out yet. Okay. But like, so it joins just my interesting statistic, because I gave you guys an interesting statistic on one of the most recent podcasts when I talked about the DC movies, when I talked about the DCEU movies, and I mentioned that it was very interesting that both Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman experienced a 40% increase from the critic rating to the audience rating, at least on Rotten Tomatoes. And Power Rangers joins those proud ranks with a solid 40% differential, 42 or like.
What's the critical reception?
Critical reception. Oh, sorry, it's 32, not 42. What am I doing over here?
I almost wanted to see that.
They have a 47%, and audience score has a 79%.
Wow.
And
I heard
that's
it was
sort
diarrhea,
of
so that's promising.
That's pretty typical of sort of what we've been noticing lately, which I think is, I'm not going to read too much into it, but I think it's interesting at the very least. So we can talk about the Spider-Man Homecoming trailer, because Spider-Man Homecoming's got a trailer. And
no, Rory, what they did is they released the full movie.
Yeah,
but
no, that was a good movie. That was a good movie.
You know what? This is true, and it's one of my pet peeves about trailers.
Yeah.
In general, I'd rather just honestly, I'd be fine with just teasers. Super 8 train me all the way to the movie. Like that's the kind of thing I like to see. I don't need to see the damn movie.
Yeah, I'll still
Michael
go see the full
plays
version. Birdman
in it though. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was like, oh man, who's the Vulture? Oh, it's Michael Keaton. Are you kidding?
Yeah, I know. It's like, really?
Yeah. That's I don't know. It looks like a Marvel movie. So yeah, I'm gonna go see it.
I mean, and no doubt about that. I mean, I'm gonna go see it too. I'm just like, I'm talking some nonsense.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's probably some. I don't know what the word is, but they've done 3 Spider-Mans now, including this one. It's like, what you're getting. So it just here's a bit of the movie. Go see it.
I really hope they don't tell the origin story, because at this point the audience is like, we know.
They'll probably touch into it a little bit, because I mean we've already seen really the origin story.
But all they really do is like, I'm Peter Parker. You probably know my story. A kid got bitten by radioactive spiders.
Yeah, I think they're going to do a different take on it though, because we've already seen a bit of that introduction in Civil War. Yeah. I think that like the reintroduction is when like when Iron Man takes away his suit and he goes into like the hoodie thing. That might be like going back to his roots for a brief bit until he proves to Tony that he's like an Avenger or whatever, and then he gets it back and yada yada.
The interesting thing, well, I mean, I don't know if it's the interesting thing, but it's at least one of the interesting things about this movie is I'm not very familiar at all with the director. I'm not familiar at all with any of the writers. So it's a whole new team, and that's actually, I'm not actually criticizing that. I think that's pretty exciting when a new team comes in. I will say that one of the writers actually wrote a couple episodes of Big Wolf on Campus. For those the people who know, certainly Dave wouldn't know, but it was a supernatural teen drama that here in Canada that ran for 3 seasons. And
Corey, was it any of those things? Actually, I don't even know if it was any of those things, because they weren't teenagers. It wasn't dramatic, and I very rarely did ever touch on the supernatural.
So it is one person who has done some work though is the cinematographer Salvatore Totino, and he did like all the Dan Brown movies like Da Vinci Code, Angels and Demons, and Inferno. I mean, if you like the cinematography in those movies, I guess you have something to look forward to. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, this could prove to be a great Marvel team, and I really hope it does.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to it.
Ghost Recon. Sorry, Ghost in the Shell also came out this weekend. We haven't had a chance to see it as of this podcast.
I was supposed to see it tonight. But
Didn't even know it was out.
The thing I was going to got canceled, and thus the movie I was going to after got canceled, and now I'm here with you guys. But we'll be going to see it next week.
Well, you can watch all of them on Steam.
I want to see if Andrew wants to watch it, because I mean that's one of his more favorite movies.
Yes,
so I'd like to go see it with Andrew. But the problem with Andrew is he's so damn busy all the time.
Yeah, Andrew's doing school, and the way Andrew's school works,
else.
It's not like the way my school works. It's like apparently in Andrew's school you take like a bazillion courses at a time. And, it's not so like free form with like, hey guys, we don't have exams.
Yeah, I can't wait to see like the bootleg version or Blu-ray ripped version where someone like superimposes nipples onto Scarlett Johansson's naked suit or whatever. Someone's definitely gonna do that. Cause she's naked in the anime, right? Right? Am I wrong in this?
No.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't know that was out.
But you're absolutely correct that that's exactly what's gonna happen. Is somebody's gonna.
Oh, this isn't the same as the anime. This is wrong. I fixed this.
I mean, I'm sure. I mean, the review I saw, so CBC did a review, or I saw a part of the CBC guys' review of Ghost Recon this morning before I was.
Stop saying Ghost Recon.
In the Shell. What are you, Dave?
Sorry, I'm tired. I've got 5 hours of sleep. Ghost in the Shell. I saw his review of Ghost in the Shell, and he was saying he only gave it 2.5 stars, partly because of the whitewashed cast.
Oh.
Whitewashed cast. Man, I can't talk. Which I feel like is a terrible reason to take stars off of a movie, because while you may not agree with the fact that the entire main cast of the film has been whitewashed, and I don't. I think that's a terrible decision. Although that being said, I think if anybody was going to play if any white actress could play the Major, it would be Scarlett Johansson. I feel like she would do a really good job because she's done similar roles in the past, and she's just a really talented, versatile actor. But that being said, I don't think you should take points off of a movie because of executive decisions made behind the, by the cast. As long as the cast does well, I feel like for them, you should be able to. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Can I say something about this?
Yeah.
This is why we shouldn't have. This is another reason we came back to this last week, I feel, or a couple weeks ago, of why we shouldn't have. Me and Adam have been arguing this for years. That we shouldn't have rating systems, and the reason is because it's totally legitimate to criticize that in a review. And Adam, may have a point here about not taking off stars because of that. That's why we shouldn't have stars. So this guy can just talk about what he thinks about the movie, and we don't have to worry about whether it's affecting like any rating at the end. The CBC, you should not be making your critics do star ratings. Please stop right now.
Well, that is the problem. It's how do you separate something that you like that is flawed and something that is technically perfect but you don't like? How do you write something about that?
You shouldn't have to. You should be able to just write about the movie, what you think about it, however you want to evaluate it. Like it's so frustrating to me when they do this to people. When they do this to writers. Anyways, that's my little spiel on editors.
It made perfect sense.
So we got
just like that was the point I was trying to make. Is like just don't like I don't think that should be you shouldn't take the stars off the film for the executive decisions made behind the scenes unless all the whitewashed characters are like the actors are all awful. Then you take them off, their performances are bad. But if their performances aren't bad, then it's a standalone movie as long as it's keeping within the spirit of the original. You know what I mean? And it looks to, at least from the trailers, it looks to be doing that because the trailer was basically note for note the trailer for the animated version.
To?
Oh, we're talking about the Ghost in the Shell movie.
I was about to say Ghost Recon again.
So
are they?
Oh my God, the frame!
Just to touch on it again briefly, are they portraying white people in the film?
So no, I don't know. In the original anime, all the characters were Japanese because it takes place in Japan.
I'm just wondering if they did like terrible makeup on them or something.
Well, in this movie, the movie takes place in Japan in a heavily stylized Japan setting where all the background characters are Japanese and there's robots and kimonos and that kind of stuff, and all the main characters are white except for the one Japanese dude who only speaks in Japanese when everybody else speaks in English. So what's even the point from what I've read about the movie?
Yeah. I mean, you could probably attribute that more to like a technical problem than I just don't like a whitewashed cast, because if it's jarring that they're in a certain environment but everyone that's actually talking is not of that background, it's a little weird. I mean, I probably wouldn't detract stars from that either because the rating system is stupid, but
you'd talk about it in your review for sure.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Probably, yeah.
But that's why I should say, like, obviously this is a big issue some people might have with the movie. I think these actors did great, but at the same time, it would have I'm just saying if I'd seen the movie, this is what
Sure, yeah.
It's just a hypothetical. I'm not seeing the movie, but like these actors did a good job. Would have liked to have seen Japanese actors in these roles because these are supposed to be Japanese characters. But for what we got, they did a good job. Don't blame them for the decisions made by the studio, that sort of thing. On the end, you should go see this movie, but keep in mind, these issues are with the movie.
Yeah.
So let's
me thoughts.
Let's talk about. Actually, that's a lot of what we had to talk about. Wow.
Go on, Rory.
BioWare addresses Andromeda problems.
There's no problems in that.
No issues at all.
I'm glad Adam's not working at BioWare, because BioWare actually came out with an announcement. But I know Adam didn't want to talk about it too much because he wants to wait a little while until he finishes it.
Well, I mean, I've been saying from the beginning that the Mass Effect Andromeda can be summed up as good game, very flawed experience.
Yeah, and BioWare just came out with a little tweet earlier in the week that said, or last week, I suppose, when this comes out, that they're acknowledging that it has problems and they're planning on working, not necessarily just fixing it, but improving the Andromeda experience moving forward. And I don't know if that just means you're going to get DLC, buy it, LOL, animations are so feasies, or if they're actually planning on improving a lot of the technical problems that the game has. And I think with regards to
animation, when I like to improve my technical problems. I like to release things, and I like to fix them after.
Mass Effect, Dave.
All right.
You can tell by the fact that we're saying Mass Effect a bunch of times in that conversation.
Well, I kind of walked away for a second there, so.
The issue, I mean, here's the thing. Here's the main problem I have with the fact that Mass Effect has problems. Is the fact that Mass Effect has problems. It's been 5 years since the last Mass Effect game came out. It's being published by EA, which is probably, correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the most, if not the most, like.
They have a crap ton of money, is what you're getting.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. And it's being developed by BioWare, a company that's made a lot of successful games in the past, who probably also has a lot of money in the bank, who's made games like this before. I mean, they made Mass Effect games before and Dragon Age. What happened here?
EA, though.
Well, yeah, BioWare's making it, but yeah, that is the question. Is it's too bad they never had 5 years and $40 million to make this game.
It's always a puzzling issue when you get a problem like this, because it's always tricky because we don't know the company, so it's the balance of responsibility between the publisher and developer is tricky, because on the one hand, publishers are famous for pushing things out before they're ready. I think
this was the case as well.
Make their money. I mean, that can happen, but at the same time, also there's bad code in the world. There's bad programmers out there making bad products, just like there is in every industry.
They make it seem good, but then when they release it, it's bad.
Yeah, and I mean, that can happen. You can get some bad programming out there. So I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying it's a possibility that this is also at least partially on the developer.
Well, yeah, I would say it is, because I was talking to Andrew, and he said EA gave them another 5 or 6 months to polish the game, and he's dead. Don't worry about it. And they gave him another 5 or 6 months to polish the game, and they still wanted to stick to the March 20th release date. So it makes you wonder, like, what their thinking was. Like, did nobody notice any of the problems?
Did they really care about the whole point of the game? Really?
I mean, I can only assume they care about their game. Like, if you want to make it into another trilogy, you want to have success with your franchise, you make it not terrible.
So it basically comes down to, do they care more about the actual release of the game or the actual lifespan?
No, I guess they thought it was ready.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so they thought more about the game release than they did about the lifespan of the game.
Well, more importantly, they thought everything that it was shipping with was up to, snuff. Which is a little concerning, considering everybody unanimously is like, what the fuck is this?
Well, this is always the problem when there's bad, and it works the same way with bad software releases. It's like, well, did you think it worked? Did you think it worked, or did you know it didn't work and shipped it anyways? And or don't both of those options suck?
Like a Windows 7 version that was uber shitty. It's like, oh yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, we're gonna release it anyway. No, it's good.
Like in Tron, when he hacks into the thing and publishes the OS way before it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, this is good. Yeah, this is good. This works.
This is free to the whole world now.
Oh my god.
Anyway. So that'll probably wrap it up. There's a few other tiny things. Oh, one thing I wanted to touch on, because I completely forgot about this. A game that me and Andrew, a dead guy who you don't need to worry about, really love, called Outcast, came out in the late 90s, not to be confused with Outlast, is like a space, maybe more like action-adventure RPG style game, which was one of the first games that I know of that introduced like a voxel deformation. So like when you walked in snow...
Like car? Yeah?
No. Voxel as in VOXEL. not the car company. So it had deformation where when you would step on snow, it would like, you'd leave a footprint, like physically like a 3D footprint, which was cool. And it had some pretty cool story elements and a lot of cool gameplay elements going towards it. And a little while ago, I think it was probably 3 or 4 years ago at this point, there was a plan to basically remake it, like remodel everything and make it a full-on remake on Kickstarter. And I backed it immediately, and it went on to not meet its goal. So I was like, okay, well, that's that, I guess. It kind of faded into the ether, and everyone forgot about it. And earlier this week, I guess they found a publisher because they have a debut trailer of what's called Outcast Second Contact now, which is that same project, but I guess with the funding it needed. So I'm very excited about that whenever that comes out.
I do have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
What is everybody's opinion on the Nintendo Switch?
Oh, Jesus. We've already talked about this. We've already talked about this. Watch the podcast where we talk about this.
You can check out a link below the podcast where we talking about this.
I'll take that link.
Just to sum it up, Dave. We think that the Nintendo Switch, we think that Zelda Breath of the Wild is a good experience with some flaws. We think that the Nintendo Switch has the potential to be a good system, but Nintendo has a lot of problems with the system itself, both design aspects, hardware aspects, etc. And the biggest thing that we didn't like about it is that everybody seems to be giving this system a free pass without acknowledging any of its flaws, and anybody who talks about any of the flaws gets downvoted to hell.
Seriously, a free pass?
Well, it's a Nintendo product, so everyone's like, oh my god, the nostalgia, it clouds my judgment to give unbiased opinions.
I've watched the videos of people, like talking about it in terms of the Zelda game and talking about how shitty it is in terms of the glitches.
Oh, people like us. But if you look at like big dogs, you won't find as much talk about that in your big, video game news networks and stuff like that. Like us, yeah, sure. Like we can go on and say whatever the hell we want. Like, but like,
we're the premier game journaling center online.
And people like us who actually play the game and actually see the game for what it is, not just point out all the good points.
Well, you've heard it here first. We're the only people on the planet without the rose-tinted nostalgia goggles, and to talk about Nintendo.
Bro, Nintendo.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll wrap this up.
I think that's pretty much everything. Yeah. We'll see you guys. Next week.
Yeah, and you can say goodbye to Dave. His career is over.
Thanks for listening, this was everyone. Dave's career.
Yep.
That's good to know.
Yep. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.